Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Tuesday, August 1st. A lot to go through, so we'll try to do it quickly. You can see in the background a picture taken by Ken Lake. Makes you wonder, when a fox is watching you, what does that say about you? We'll let you speculate on that. Thanks a lot for that picture, Ken. And if we look at the headlines here over the next several days, we're going to see plenty of sunshine today and tomorrow. Can't rule out an isolated thunderstorm maybe late this afternoon. A little bit better chance of scattered thunderstorms moving in for Wednesday. And then as we get into Thursday and Friday, thunderstorms have become quite likely. It looks like the key period would be around midday Thursday through very early Friday morning, but then we'll even have a chance of a few scattered showers in through the weekend. Most of the time it will be dry over the weekend, but certainly much cooler. And there'll be some winds with this system too. It looks like we could see some really gusty winds as we get into Thursday night, early Friday, as that pretty strong cold front moves through the area. And then that's going to bring on, I think, an extended period of cooler weather. Overall, looks like about 6 to 9 tenths, and certainly locally heavier amounts, especially as we get into Thursday night. But that'll be the 5-day forecast. Into Friday midnight would be 6 tenths to 9 tenths across the area. And we'll track that. You can see that again, the forecast here, the numbers here, and this is the 13 station average. When I forecast this kind of amount of precipitation, I'm forecasting that based off all 13 stations averaged together. So we'll see how well we do on that, or how poorly I do on that. And if we look at the graphical format, this will track the heaviest amounts to the lightest amounts over the next 5 days. If we look at moisture across the month of July in southwest Ontario, you can see some pretty dry spots, especially in the orange and in the red, where you get down to about 20 to 50% of the normal rainfall. And if we look at the Michigan, you can see again, the number of the individual stations plotted across the area of the percentage of normal rainfall for the month of July. Again, 58% is where we're at. And you can see the number of days in a row now without any rain. Blissfield, Clarksville, and Lansing now 10 days in a row without any measurable rainfall, and 8 days at London and Jasper. Many of the areas across central Michigan pick up some beneficial rains about 5 days ago. And again, all areas could certainly use a drink of water. And I think we got a pretty good shot at many areas picking up well over a half-inch of rain here over the next 5 days, with locally over an inch possible. And if we look at the last 90 days, you can see much of south central and southwest lower Michigan below normal as far as rainfall during those 90 days, and really up to about 200% above normal. But if it wasn't for a 6 to 12 inch rainfall in about a 7-day period, it'd even be dry here. But again, a lot of rain fell across portions of Mecosta, Isabella, Midland into Bay County, and even in the northern portions of Montcalm, Saginaw, and Gratiot counties. If we look at the growing degree days at all the locations, you can see quite a spread from our normally warmer locations, this being Blissfield at 1,740 growing degree days, down to St. Thomas at 1,342, so about a 420 growing degree day difference just because of location. And if we look at some of the individual locations, you can see Blissfield doing quite well. Again, if you use it with the comparisons of previous years, and these charts can all be found on the main weather site if you go up towards the top of the page there and click on the growing degree days. And if we look at Breckenridge, also in good shape, hugging that near normal line almost for the entire time so far since May 1st, or around May 5th when we start tracking the 50% plant dates. And if we look at the Brown City, again, not too bad a shape there as well. And if we look at Clarksville, which is a new station, may have to adjust the daily average temperatures just a little bit. This using Grand Rapids. We'll see if we can't find something closer to Ionia. And if we look at the Newaygo station, again, not too bad a shape there as well, one of our cooler locations. And if we look at the next slide, you can see temperatures out there this morning pretty warm in the low 60s across most of the area. Some cooler spots as normal, Clarksville and Newaygo, and some of the lower elevations down into the 50s. And if we look at the satellite view this morning, you can see as we go into the next full loop here, you can see these clouds and even some showers late last night falling apart during the overnight hours into this morning. And again, the activity we're watching is going to be a cold front that's going to be sliding very slowly off to the southeast. A wave of low pressure is going to move along that and then eventually move up towards the strait. That'll keep us in the warm sector and give us a good chance of showers and thunderstorms beginning later on Wednesday, but especially for Thursday night into Friday. And if we look at the radar, not a whole lot going on across the Midwest. We got a little bit of activity up in the Arrowhead and back into North Dakota, back into Montana and Wyoming, and that's where that low pressure system would be coming out of. It'll drop down in towards Iowa and then eventually move to the east-northeast, I believe across northern lower Michigan, although you're going to see in the WPC forecast it looks like it'll track across southern lower Michigan, so we'll see how that pans out. If we look at the current weather map this morning, you can see low pressure near Hudson Bay with a cold front extending back to that area of low pressure back in Montana. And again, that low pressure system will move to the east and drop down towards Iowa and then move to the northeast. And so that by Wednesday, looks like a much better chance of showers and thunderstorms will be moving into the area by late in the day, and especially as this low pressure system begins to move forward. I believe that'll push that system a little farther north than what this map right here indicates. I believe that low pressure system will be just a hair farther north, and it'll be pushing this front back to the north as a warm front, and we should be into a pretty good area of showers and thunderstorms. So once we get into Thursday night into Friday morning, again, looked like the best time to see the most rainfall from this system. And how much rain might we expect? You can see much of the area over the next 7 days will pick up over an inch of rain or near an inch of rain in many locations. And again, we're going to have to watch it. I think some areas could see locally quite a bit more than that, while others may not. And you can see this is over the next 7-day period. Most of the rainfall, about 3/4 of an inch, is likely to occur during that Thursday night, Friday morning time frame. And so the forecast, again, pretty warm out there, increasing humidities over the next couple of days. Highs in the mid, maybe even upper 80s for today and Wednesday, and then we'll have those chances of thunderstorms, especially later in the afternoon. Thunderstorms likely for Thursday night into Friday morning, and then just isolated over the weekend. You can see we turned quite a bit cooler into the low to mid 70s across the area over the weekend. And again, we're going to watch for some pretty gusty winds here, especially I think for later Thursday into Friday as that cold front begins to move through the area. Right now it doesn't look like severe weather is a big threat, but something we'll certainly keep an eye on as well. Thanks for stopping by, and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.